welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson, and thanks for coming over today. I am in a different location, and this is not my home. I'm at my son's house. We are getting our car repaired down the street. Long story, got to get some work done. Big mountain in front of us, and there is a solution. The solution is I got to get the van fixed. The mountain is how we're going to pay for it. It could be anywhere from $20 to over $1,000, so we shall see. But in the meantime, I'm being productive and I'm doing a video for you guys. So I hope you enjoy this backdrop. I think it's beautiful here at my son's house, and so we're going to enjoy it for the moment. So today we're going to be talking about saving the best for last. I am big on being positive. I'm big on finding solutions to the mountains that we have to get over, around, under, or through. There's always going to be mountains in life, always. And there's always a solution. They're not always the solutions that we want, such as I have to pay for this van and I'm not going to like it, but the solution is I have to get it fixed if I want to get to work or to the food store or live life. The mountain is what's in front of me, and there's a reason it's there. Sometimes we don't know why, but there is always a solution. So today, again, we're talking about saving the best for last, and I really want to talk to you about this because I hear so many negative comments, whether it's people in my own circle, my own family, my friends, and even here on YouTube. Everybody has a different purpose on YouTube and has a different style platform. I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong, nothing like that. My platform, I want it to be about being positive, encouraging, and finding solutions to things that maybe we went, oh, I never thought of it that way. I live a very plain and simple life, nothing frilly or fancy or anything like that. We like to do things frugally. We like to do things on a budget, the best we can, save a few dollars here or there. My husband has a good way of looking at life, and he keeps me stable. And I was talking to my husband about this last night and about a few thoughts I had behind it. And he said there needs to be balance in everything we do. Some of you have met Graeme on some previous videos, and yes, he'll be back. I keep getting requests for Graeme. And yeah, so he always says there has to be a balance. So here's the thing. You could be, in debt. You might have credit cards and expenses and things like that. And you get paid, and the money's got to go to all these things. But in that, there needs to be balance, such as you need to allow yourself to breathe a little. That might mean once in a while treating yourself to a Starbucks coffee, if that's your thing. Yeah. It might be going and getting an ice cream cone once in a while. It might be going for a walk in a park. It could be something that doesn't cost money, but it might cost money. So how are we going to save the best for last? Well, normally we start off the month, and I think most of us would agree that the typical, let's say the average person, starts off the month, we get paid, we have a fresh new budget, we have a fresh menu plan, we have all our hopes and dreams. The beginning of the month, this month, is going to be good. That's a great way to start. And we start off with getting paid and going grocery shopping and all the rest. What happens is a lot of times in the beginning, we do all these planning, but then at the end of the month, we find out we have no money left over, and we have, cans of soup and oatmeal and corned beef hash, and oh, that's what we're having for dinner? Yeah, we're at the skinny chicken time, and the last 10 days of the month are going to be really rough, and you just eat what you have, and you get through it, and then you start all over again the next month. You ever feel like that? Well, here's my solution. This is the Wilson solution. This has worked for us for the past 2 years, and we just found that we've tried everything else, and some things worked, most things didn't. You know what it's like. And this is an ever-evolving thing as well. This is not, write this down, this is the permanent solution to everything. It is not. But I will tell you, saving the best for last has worked for us. So what we like to do is save the best for last in both menu planning and in budget planning. So what I do, and it's taken us a while to get to the point of doing this. So this is not something you're going to do overnight miraculously and it's all going to work out perfect. We had to work toward this. But what I like to do on the first of the month is pay all our bills. Pay everything. Whatever it needs to be paid. Now, granted, our car insurance can only be on a certain date. Things like that. But whatever 90% of what we can pay on the first of the month, we pay. Usually after that, within the first 10 days of the first of the month, everything else has gone through the account, anything that's a direct payment, things like that. Then we basically have this lump of money left, and then as the month goes, we have to see what comes up. Maybe there's a birthday event we're didn't plan for. Maybe there's a baby shower. Maybe there's a trip somewhere. I don't know, whatever. So that money then is not quite ready to be spent, but it's put aside in a sense of, okay, what's going to happen now from the 10th day of the month to the 30th day of the month. So that money kind of put over here. The same thing with the menu planning. We'll go food shopping. We probably shop once every 3 weeks is our big shopping. And usually I buy enough for 2 weeks, but it lasts us the 3 to 3.5 weeks depending. And so I've rounded it off. I used to do just once a month, and that was not working well. So now we do it once every 3 weeks. We'll go and we'll grocery shop. Excuse me. Get what we need. See how we can stretch it out. And then that last week, you need another dozen eggs. You need some milk. You might need some more butter, whatever the case might be. So the problem is at the end of the month, we have no money. And we have, like I said, the cans of soup and the oatmeal for dinner. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you get to the end of the month and you've got 10 days of oatmeal, corned beef hash, can of soup, baked beans on toast, after 10 days, it's kind of like, oh, can't wait for the next month. I can buy food again. Well, why not do it in the reverse? Why not save the best for last? So, like I mentioned, we pay our bills at the first of the month. We get everything by the 10th of the month. For the most part for us, everything is paid. Then we have a little bit of money left, and we hold on until the last week of the month, maybe 10 days before the end of the month, somewhere in that, and we've got a little bit of money. And then what we can do is we can say, okay, this portion, I'm going to add a little extra to the payment, maybe the car payment, or a little extra to whatever loan you might have, or a little extra to the credit card bill, whatever. And then we look, how much extra do we really have, and how much could we take and maybe do a little splurge? Go out to dinner, get some coffee, go to the store, do a walkthrough, maybe get some seasonal items. And you'll see an up-and-coming video of a Dollar Tree haul. And also I went to the Christmas tree shop with my mom. We spent a girls' day out and we went shopping. We went to a Dollar Tree. Then we went over to the Christmas tree shop. Then we went to Chick-fil-A for lunch. Then we hit a new-to-us thrift shop and came home and felt satisfied. Sometimes you need to satisfy the soul. You need to go and buy an ice cream cone. You need to go and buy a treat for yourself. Maybe, like for me, it's, as you can see, spring is coming, and I need to refurbish some of the things in my house. We decorated for Christmas, and we decorate for winter, I guess you'd say. We leave our snowmen up and things like that. I didn't do Valentine's Day, so I think what I'm going to do is just jump right into doing Easter and spring. I need that. It's a refreshment for me. It kind of clears the air in the home, and it makes it really nice for the family, and it's a nice atmosphere to come home to. So I went out and I spent some money, and I know there are people on this platform, and there are people in my circle that'll say, how can you frivolously be spending money on things at the Dollar Tree, or how can you go and eat out, or how can you go to Chick-fil-A, or how could you go to the Christmas tree shop? There are people that I know that they won't buy a thing. I know people that will buy one pair of shoes, one coat, one, let's say, pocketbook, and they'll live with that for 20 years until it is literally falling apart. I have a friend that will do that. and they will not spend a dime on themselves, and it's almost a challenge for them on how much wear and tear can I put into this outfit that I'm wearing. That's their choice. There's nothing wrong with that if you're okay with that. I'm not okay with that. That's not me. And like my husband said, having a balance is really good. So the way we have found a balance in our life with menu planning and budget planning is saving the best for last. So at the end of the month, when you have that a little extra dollar here or $5, maybe it's $150. I don't know your budget. And every month is going to be different. You know how some months you go in and you're like, where did all the money go? Well, you had expenses that came up you didn't plan. Okay. Maybe the end of the month comes and you're really busy and you can't get out. Well, put that money aside. We have a jar. We keep some, money in there, little loose change and whatever. And that's our, extra money. We want to buy something. We need something, whatever the case might be. There are other ways to get money also than just your paycheck. And I'll do a video on ways that we've learned to earn some extra money. It's not rocket science, but I will share that with you at a later video. What about menu planning? How can you save the best for last? Okay, so you go shopping the beginning of the month or the end of the month, and then you buy your food that will sustain you for the next couple of weeks. So what do we do at the end of the month? Well, how do we get better food for the end of the month? So here's what I would suggest. So let's say I'm going to just throw out a menu. This is a random one. We're going to get steak. We're going to make some burgers. We're going to do several kinds of chicken, maybe a roast pork, some spaghetti. That's pretty much what we're going to have for this month. Okay. So what could we do better to save the best for last? Well, maybe not the first night start with steak. Maybe the first night start with chicken. And then maybe for a couple nights have canned soup, soup and toast, maybe have baked beans on toast, maybe have some oatmeal, and then introduce the burgers. And spread that out over the month. So at the end of the month, you might go, oh, I still have that roast pork in the freezer. I didn't even use that. I've got a package of chicken, and I think we have a few more hamburgers. And here's the end of the month. You've saved the best for last. When I tend to eat off of a plate, when I was a kid, you'd have this, and this. And your mom said, eat that food. I would eat the stuff I couldn't stand. Oh, like the peas or something that, I would eat the things I didn't like first. And then I would eat saving the best for last, whatever that best was. And I know my sisters and I know other people, they'll eat their favorites first. And then they're looking at what's left on the plate. I have to eat that? Yes, you have to eat that. And you sit and you just eat one pea at a time because you don't like it. Why not get the worst over with and then save the best for last? I think if you can end on a high note, if I can say it that way, it just does something to your spirit. It does something to your soul. Why don't you save the best for last? Maybe revamp your menu so that you spread the food out and you have that roast left in the freezer, and at the end of the month you can have a nice roast and potatoes or whatever the case might be, whatever your best is. Do the same with your budget. Maybe try and revamp your budget, and it might take time that you can pay off everything in the beginning of the month. Save that money that you have left over. Don't spend it right away until you know things have been covered, and then divide and conquer whatever's left. See where maybe what you want to put it toward to pay down a bill, but then keep a little extra out to be able to go out to dinner, to get a cup of coffee, maybe to go shopping. Now, maybe going out to dinner is not your thing. That's okay. That's not everybody's thing. These are just ideas. So I encourage you to look at the mountain, find a solution, and figure out a way that maybe you can save the best for last. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear some of your solutions, how you've come up with things. I'd love to hear some positive feedback. Note that word positive. Let's keep this channel encouraging and positive. And this is not the perfect solution for everyone, but it is an idea that might encourage you to think of a new way that you too can find a solution and not end the month on a down, but end the month on a high note. A new month is coming up in a few days. Let's start it in a good, positive way together. I'd love to hear from you. We'll catch you all on the next video.